So, welcome. So, today we will be reviewing what we did last week. So, just building upon really paying attention to our posture and noticing what muscles we need to contract to have like a really healthy posture, both sitting and standing, so that we can start to sort of memorize what our bodies feel like when we are sitting with healthy posture or standing with healthy posture. And that way, when we're outside of our yoga class, just going about our day, we can keep that in the back of our heads, and that will help us to really embody what we're learning in our class. We'll also integrate some nice movement into the shoulder, neck, and upper body to really loosen up tension that might be held there. All right, so let's just take a deep breath in. And as you inhale, bring your shoulders all the way up. And as you exhale, draw the shoulders down and back and breathe out through your mouth. Good. Inhale, shoulders forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Again, breathing in, breathing out. And just doing this on your own. Tuning into how your body feels, how your shoulders feel, tuning into your breathing. And maybe for the first time today, really paying attention to the breath and breathing very deeply. One more time, big breath in, shoulders reach up to the ears. This time, hold the breath in at the top, hold the shoulders up to the ears. And then exhale out through the mouth, draw the shoulders down and back. Good. And then just relax the shoulders, and we'll just start to shake the hands out. So loosening up the fingers, the wrists, the arms, just kind of shaking that out. And then we're going to just start clapping the hands together, just stimulating the palms and the fingers. And then again, just shaking it out. So just a way to loosen things up, especially if you've been doing a lot of typing or writing today. And then as you inhale, we'll bring the arms out and up. Interlace the fingers above your head and just press the palms up to the ceiling. So as you press the palms up, feel your sitting bones, so the parts of your hips that are rooting down into the floor. Just feel them root down into the floor as if they are like a tree trunk rooting down into the earth. And as you press the palms up, palms are lifting in opposite directions, heels of the hands reaching up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale out. Keep the arms lifted. And as we practiced last week, find the alignment of your body. So feel your shoulders over your hips and feel the crown of your head over your heart and your heart over the tailbone. Good. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, reach the arms out and down. And just let the hands kind of rest where they fall naturally. And then again, check in with the alignment. Shoulders over hips, crown of the head over heart, over tailbone. And close your eyes and actually visualize that alignment in your mind. As you inhale, feel the crown of your head floating up to the ceiling. As you exhale, feel your sitting bones rooting down into the floor as your shoulders relax. Again, deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, feel your shoulders soften, feel your eyes, feel your jaw relax. One more time, deep breath in. Feel your belly expand. Feel your chest expand as you breathe. And exhale out. On your next inhale, reach the arms out and up again. Interlace your fingers again, but now the awkward way, so the other thumb is on in front, and then press the palms up to the ceiling again. Okay. Feel the heels, excuse me, the heels of your hands over your shoulders. If that feels like it's too tight, then bring your hands a little more forward. As best as you can, reach the heels of your hands up to the ceiling. Breathe in, lift the shoulders high. Breathe out, press the shoulders down away from your ears. Okay, let's do that 2 more times. So inhale, feel your shoulders lift to the ears. Exhale, press the shoulders down. Good. One last time. Deep breath in. Feel your shoulders lift. Feel your ribs expand a little bit more as you breathe in. And then breathe out. Shoulders press down away from the ears. Bring the hands right behind the base of your skull. And just lean your head. Excuse me. Lean your head back into your hands like you're cradling your head with your hands. Elbows open comfortably out to the side. Okay. So as you cradle your head, inhale and feel your heart just floating up to the ceiling, as if there's like a light shining out of your heart. But instead of shining it forward, you're going to float your heart up so that it shines up to the ceiling. And you'll feel a little arch in your spine as you do this. But focus less on really arching the spine and more on lifting the heart. Okay. So it should feel like a really beautiful stretch through the front of your chest, maybe even through your arms, through the space around your heart. Find a point to focus your eyes. And let's take 2 more really deep full breaths in and out. So follow your breath all the way up to the top of the inhale. Follow your breath down the bottom of the exhale, holding here. Good. One more time. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good. On your next inhale, just lengthen the spine, find that alignment, and then release the hands. Let the hands just relax where they naturally fall. And take a moment to pause, take a few breaths, just feel, you can even close your eyes, but just feeling your shoulders, your arms, the chest, any sensations in your body. And then you can shake the hands out again. We'll open and close the fists a few times. And let's just do a little stretch for the fingers and the wrists. So take your right hand out in front of you and then use your left hand to gently draw the fingers back so the right fingers are pointing down. Now you don't want to force this, just gently press with that left hand until you feel a stretch through the right fingers, the right wrist, maybe the forearm. The shoulders are relaxed down and away from the ears as opposed to hunching them up. Okay, so just see if you can relax them down. Take one more breath here. Breathing out. Good. And then just relax and we'll flip the other way. So now right palm faces towards you. Use the left hand to gently pull the fingers towards you till you feel that stretch in the top of the hand and down the forearm and wrist. Okay. And one thing I like to do is rotate my right forearm as I'm holding here. So it's kind of hard to explain, but you can imagine that sort of this, the inner part of your elbow, you're just kind of rotating it down towards the floor and then up towards the ceiling. So there's this internal rotation and then external rotation. It's a small movement. You can play around with that. Okay, take one more breath. And then release. Okay, other side. So left hand out in front, palm forward, fingers down. Right hand gently pulls the left fingers towards you. Find a point to focus those eyes. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out through the nose. Relax the shoulders, one more breath. Good. Gently release, and then we'll flip the palm so it faces towards you. Gently pull the hand towards you, just enough so that you feel the stretch and it feels good. Doesn't hurt. If it hurts, you need to just back off a little bit. And just breathe with your body here. You can play with rotating internally and externally. You might notice that one arm feels a little different. I can tell this arm feels a little bit more tight, which kind of surprises me because I'm right-handed. Good. Last breath here. And gently release. Whew. All right, let's roll those shoulders up one more time. And then exhale down and back. Okay, come onto hands and knees. If you need padding for your knees, especially if you're on a hard floor, then place a blanket or towel under your knees here. And let's come into tabletop position. So we're on hands and knees, fingers spread wide, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. So toes are untucked for now. Really simple cat-cow to begin. As you inhale, arch your spine, look up to the ceiling. As you exhale, round your spine, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Again, inhale, arch, peeking up. Exhale, round and tuck. Scoop that tailbone under, tuck your chin. Now find your own rhythm here. Move with your breath. And begin to engage the back of your throat as you breathe through your nose. So remembering our Ujjayi breathing. Little constriction in the back of your throat. Like you're breathing like Darth Vader, but just a little bit more gently. And see if you can hear that soft, soothing sound that your breath makes when you breathe in this way. One more time, breathing in, arching the spine. Breathing out to round and tuck. Okay, inhale back into a flat spine. As you exhale, we're going to look over the right shoulder towards the right pinky toe and slide the hips to the left. So your body curves into a C shape. Inhale, come right back to neutral. So the spine is flat. And then exhale, look over your left shoulder towards the pinky toe and slide the hips to the right. Oh man, I heard that in my back already. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over the right shoulder, slide the hips to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, look left, hips right. And again, find your own rhythm here. You can just move with your breath. You might be breathing a little faster or slower than me. Just try to coordinate your movements to your breath. In our yoga practice, we are really trying to unite what we're doing physically with where our minds are, so what we're paying attention to, and what we're doing with our breath. So we're kind of combining everything and really making everything work together as one. Let's do one more round here. Finish on your left side so that you're even. Okay, and then come back to tabletop. From here, we'll tuck the toes, walk the hands back towards you so that you can sit on your heels. Toes are tucked. Spread the fingers wide. Now, from here, let your shoulders shrug up towards your ears like this. And then when you exhale, press the shoulders down and back, away from the ears so your neck feels like it's really free and you can kind of turn your head easily. Good. And then from here, we'll sit the hips back into those heels so that you feel a stretch in your toes. If you don't feel this, I want you to drag your toes back a little bit so that you're stretching the skin under your toes. And just take some time to bring some attention and stretch into your feet. Now we can shift our hips slightly to the left so that the stretch moves into the left pinky toe a little bit. And then slowly slide your hips, your weight a little bit to the right. And then you'll feel it move into your right pinky toe. Okay, really small, subtle movement. One more time, shift your hips a little bit more to the left. Good, and then a little bit more to the right. Okay, come back to center. Let's practice balancing now. So if this hurts your toes, the next thing we do, then just keep your hands on the floor and focus on what we just did. If you want to try balancing, walk your hands towards you. Lift your knees off the floor. And then imagine that you have like a block. If you do have a block, you can actually just place it between your thighs. But if you don't, you can also just imagine there's like a ball or a block between your thighs and you're squeezing your inner thighs into the block. So you're kind of hugging them together, even if there's a little space between your thighs. Okay. Then from here, walk your hands onto your thighs and then look forward and find your alignment. Shoulders over the hips, crown of the head over the heart, over tailbone. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And it's okay if you're a little wobbly. It's okay if you fall down a little bit. Just do your best. We're just practicing 2 more breaths here. Imagine your head is filled with helium. And so there's a sense of lift and lightness through the head that lengthens your spine and makes this feel a little bit easier. One more breath in. Firm your shoulder blades down your back. Nice open chest here. Whew. And then exhale. That was really hard for me today. Bring the hands to the floor and then just lift your hips up. Oh, yeah. And let's just rock forward and back. So just feeling into this beautiful stretch in the hamstrings especially, but all the way down through the backside of your body. So your calves, your bottom, your hamstrings, maybe your spine and your neck. So let your head relax. Gently shake the head out a little bit so that the head is like a heavy bowling ball. So you're not lifting your head up. You're just letting it kind of be a weight that stretches your neck and your spine. Deep breaths in and out here. If your hamstrings are tight, bend your knees a little bit. And let's just take a couple more breaths. So you can continue to rock forward and back, or you can just stay still. If you want a deeper stretch, bring your hands behind your calves and hug your upper body a little closer to your lower body so your forehead comes closer to your shins. And deepen the breath here. Remember, you can always bend your knees a little more, especially if you feel like you're straining. You don't want to ever really strain in yoga. You want to kind of adjust your body so that you can make every pose work for you. One more breath here. Good. Let the hands relax. Bend your knees 90 degrees. Press down through your feet and then roll up one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow. One vertebrae at a time until you eventually come up to your standing position. And once you're standing up, find Tadasana and settle into your strong, healthy posture. Shoulders over hips, crown of head, over heart, over tailbone. Okay. And then lift your toes, spread your toes, and then gently press your toes into the floor. So you're sort of gripping the mat gently with your toes. Kneecaps are slightly lifted. Equal weight on both feet. Shoulders relax down and back. Fingers spread wide, palms forward. Take a moment just to pause in Tadasana and notice how it feels, just committing this posture and the way that it feels to your memory so that you can practice it off the mat this week. And this actually works. I was a lot more attentive of my posture this week just by teaching that class last week. Take one more breath here. And then bring your hands together at the heart. Okay, so let's just walk ourselves to the top of the mat, and then we'll move into some sun salutation variations. Okay. So remember, every time you come to stand, come back to all of this as best as you can. Inhale, bring the arms out and up. Touch your palms. Lift the heart up to the ceiling. Again, like you're shining your heart up to the ceiling. Little arch in the spine. And then exhale, swan dive forward, forward bend. Inhale, come halfway up. Long spine. Again, shoulders in line with hips. Exhale, bring the left leg back. We're going to come into a high lunge. So keep that back knee lifted. Find your balance and then sweep your arms forward and up into a crescent lunge. Okay? Good. And just feel into this pose here. So take a little tiny bounce in your legs so that this pose doesn't feel too stiff or like stuck, but there's a little bit of flexibility and movement and buoyancy in your body. Okay, so right knee is over that ankle, left heel is reaching back, tailbone is tucked. So take your hands to your hips and just scoop your tailbone under. Really feel that stretch in front of the left hip flexor. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, holding here. Let's take one more breath. Inhale. And then exhale. We'll reach the arms forward and down. Inhale, step into plank pose. Find your alignment once again. Breathing in. Exhale, you can lower the knees or you can just bend your elbows and come down to the floor. Forehead to the mat, untuck your toes. Press your hips into the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and down, and then lift your chin and chest into baby cobra. In Baby Cobra, we're actually looking down to the floor. We're not looking out in front of us. So you want to tuck your chin, and the back of your neck should feel nice and long. And your toenails stay on the floor. So bring attention to your lower back and feel those muscles really working here. And just visualize your shoulder blades rolling down and back. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Bring the forehead to the floor. Tuck the toes and just stretch your hips back to your heels for a moment. Nice long stretch through the spine and the arms. And then come into downward facing dog. So here in our first down dog, you can explore this pose a bit. Shift the hips around, bend the knees, relax your head. And then we'll settle for a few breaths into a static downward dog. Okay. So a couple of notes here. The fingers are spread wide. And you're kind of stretching your mat away from your feet. The knees can always bend as you need to. They don't need to be all the way straight unless that feels comfortable. I recommend starting with a little bit of bend in the knee at least. And then let's just, again, like we did in our lunge, just bounce very gently here. So again, the pose feels a little bit more fluid and flexible. And when you're doing this, you can just kind of explore your way a little bit easier into the best position for you. And then from your bouncing, then just settle one more time into this down dog and take one more breath. Exhale, feel your belly draw into the spine as you breathe out. And then bend your knees, look forward, and step or jump to the top. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Come up to stand, touch your palms. Lift the heart. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, left leg back? Left leg back, I think. As long as you do the opposite one. I'm stepping my left leg back. And then crescent lunge. Okay. And then just a little tiny bounce here so that it feels a little bit buoyant. And then bend into that right knee, press the left heel back, and then settle into crescent lunge. Scooping that tailbone under, focusing your eyes on one point, and settling into the breath. 2 more breaths here. Full breath in. Full breath out. Bring the hands to the floor, step into plank. Feel your alignment in plank as if you were in Tadasana. Same alignment. We're just horizontal instead of vertical. Pause for one extra breath here. Exhale, lower down. Untuck the toes. Press the hips into the floor, hug the shoulder blades together and down, and then float the chin and chest into Baby Cobra. So chin and chest come off the floor, gaze down towards the mat. Bring attention to that lower back and feel those muscles strengthening. We're going to see if we can take this a little bit farther. So in Baby Cobra, there's no weight in our hands. So let's actually see if we can take our hands off the floor. Just float your hands an inch off the floor. And as you do that, really roll the shoulders down and back. So feel the shoulder blades kind of flatten and move down your back a little bit. Okay, keep breathing here. You've got this. If you want to take it a tiny bit farther, you can float your legs off the floor. Maybe even your thighs lift off the mat a little bit. Keep your gaze down to your mat. Bring attention to the whole backside of your body. Feel everything working, strengthening and building. One more breath. Beautiful. Release everything to the floor. Tuck the toes. Oh, stretch it back. Hips back to the heels. Take a breath. And then downward facing dog. I'm just going to fix my mat a little bit, but you go ahead and come into down dog. We'll take 3 breaths here in down dog. So again, the fingers are spread wide here. We're going to add a little bit to this downward dog. So bend your knees, bring your chest a little bit closer to your thighs, and then lift your heels and your hips as high as you can off the floor. So your body comes into a skinnier triangular shape, and then press the heels down towards the mat. Okay, they don't have to touch, they're just pressing down. Let's do that once more. Bend the knees, bring your chest closer to your thighs. Inhale, lift your hips and your heels high as you can. Exhale, press the heels down. Beautiful. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Come to stand, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. From here, let's just release the hands. Take a moment to pause. Feel into your Tadasana, mountain pose posture. So reestablishing everything we did earlier. Spreading the toes, lifting the kneecaps, hugging the belly gently in. Shoulders down and back. Feel the head floating up to the ceiling. Feeling this beautiful posture. One more breath in. Good. And exhale out. Okay. So let's practice a modified camel pose here. We're going to take the hands to the lower back, kind of to the top of the buttocks, lower back, like this, with the fingers pointing down. So this camel posture is a really nice way to open the chest and stretch through the front of the body and get a nice little back bend in here. So when we do this pose, we're standing tall, we're bringing the hands top of the buttocks, lower back, and then hug the elbows towards each other. Okay, as much as you comfortably can. Stand tall in your 2 feet. Imagine your chest, your heart, shining that light forward out in front of you. And then lift your heart so that light shines up to the ceiling. And you'll just feel a nice little stretch across the front of the chest, down through the front body. Okay, it doesn't have to be a really big arch in the spine. Imagine that you're just shining that light up to the ceiling. Take one more deep breath in here. And exhale out. Inhale, come back up and release. Good. Facing forward, standing in Tadasana once again, feeling into your alignment. Shoulders over hips, crown of head, over heart, over tailbone. I know I've said that like a million times, but the repetition does help. Let's practice our balancing posture today. Spread the left toes and just shift your weight onto the left foot. And then just pick up your right foot and just feel into that balance here. And then switch. So shift your weight to the right foot, spread the toes, and then lift the left leg off. Good. One more time. Switch to the left. Pick up the right foot. Okay, and then let's see if we can bring the right knee a little bit higher. And then lower down. Shift to the right. Pick up the left. A little bit higher. Good. And then last time, shift to the left. And this time we're going to come into tree pose. So feel into your balancing pose on that left side. And then the right foot either comes to the inner ankle with a big toe on the floor, or to the inner calf, or to the inner thigh. Okay, so find the level that feels like a nice challenge for you, but still doable. And then press your foot into the inner left leg. And feel the inner left leg also just kind of pressing back against the right foot. So the two forces are meeting and just gently opposing each other so that it feels really strong. Yeah. Good. And then take your left hand to your lower belly and the right hand to the inner knee. And very gently just guide the inner knee out towards the right so that your hips feel a little bit more open. Okay. And then you can keep your hands on your lower belly or bring your hands to the heart. And find a point to focus your eyes. We'll take a couple more breaths here. So even in, or especially I should say, in our balancing postures, we can still feel that alignment, right? Shoulders over hips, the spine in a nice vertical axis here. Okay, so we're not like leaning forward, we're not like off to the side like this. We do our best to find that alignment. Last inhale. And release the hands, release the legs. Just take a moment, feel your feet rooting down into the floor, feel the sensations in your legs. Okay, and let's switch. So spread the right toes, shift the weight to the right, and then find tree pose on this side. So if you need extra help, keep that left big toe on the floor, or you can even just find a wall and place your right hand on the wall. Okay, there's no shame in using the wall or props. It's actually a good sign when people do that because I know that they are finding what works for them and they're not just forcing themselves into something they're not ready for. Okay. So again, feel the foot pressing against the leg, leg pressing against the foot. So it's kind of a dynamic placement. And then right hand to belly, left hand to inner knee. And very gently just kind of brush the knee so that it's encouraged to open up to the left side as opposed to bringing the knee forward like this. Whoa. All right. And you might find one side a little easier, a little harder. And then hands to belly or heart. Okay, focus your eyes on one point. And let's just smile a little bit. It takes the seriousness out of our practice. Sometimes we get so focused on like doing our poses that we can take ourselves a little too seriously. So let's just keep it nice and light and joyful. You're doing beautifully. Good. Take one more breath. I can tell that for me, this side's a little bit more challenging. Okay, on an exhale, release and release the leg. Just take a moment to pause, feel your feet rooting down, deep breath in. Breathe out through your mouth. Good. Shake the hands out. You can roll the ankles out a bit here if you want to. Okay, and we're going to come down to the floor. I'd like to do one more camel pose on the knees today. So we'll tuck the toes, come onto the knees, and then lift your hips so that you're kneeling down. This is a really good time to grab your towel or blanket if you want to pad the knees. If you don't have either of those, just kind of fold your mat on itself, especially if you are on a hard floor, then you want to do this. Now you have 3 pads under you instead of just 1. Okay. Knees are about hip width apart. Alignment, shoulders over hips. You know the drill. Okay. From here, hands to the upper bottom, lower back. Bring the shoulder blades and the elbows towards each other. And then shine your heart up to the ceiling. Focus your eyes on one point. Try to keep your hips over your knees as opposed to moving in front of the knees. And if you want a little bit more, you can bring your hands to hold around your ankles or heels as you lift the heart. And if your neck feels strained, keep your chin tucked here. Okay, if it feels good for your neck, you can lift the chin and relax the head back. But just be really gentle, just be really careful here. I'm going to keep my chin tucked. Couple of breaths. Feel that opening through the heart. Feel the stretch through the chest, opening in the shoulders and belly. One more breath here. A little smile on the face. If you have your hands on your heels, release one hand at a time as you press yourself back up. Take a moment to pause. And let's rest in child's pose. So you can stretch your mat back out. Separate the knees, untuck the toes, hips to heels, and then reach your arms forward. If your forehead doesn't reach the ground comfortably, then make a little pillow with your hands or with fists. And let's take a few breaths in child's pose. Really deepening the breath here as you inhale. Feel your belly expand between your thighs. Feel your chest expand. One more breath. Slowly start to walk your hands towards you. Once you're about halfway up, we're going to take a spinal twist. So left hand is going to reach underneath you all the way out to the right until the right shoulder and ear lower closer to the floor. They don't have to touch the floor, but if they comfortably reach, you can let them rest on the mat. I'm going to keep mine a little bit lifted. Breathing into that lower back, especially here. Did a lot with the lower back today. Good, and then press yourself back up and we'll switch. Right hand comes underneath, slides out to the left, lowering the right shoulder and ear towards the mat. Breathing all the way down into the lower back. You might even feel or visualize your lower back stretching and expanding as you deepen your breath. And slowly come back up. From here, we'll walk ourselves onto our backs into our final relaxation pose. But actually before that, let's just pull the knees into the chest and wrap the arms around the legs. Give yourself a big hug as you squeeze into a tiny little ball, forehead towards the knees. Tighten up your whole face and get as compact as you can. Squeeze tight. And then stretch the face, stick out the tongue, roll the eyes back. And then release. Bring the head to the floor. Relax your legs down to the mat. Separate your feet, toes to the sides. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you can always bend your knees. Feet apart, knees together. Hands come away from the body, palms facing up. Let's take a great big deep breath in through the nose together and then sigh the breath out through the mouth. And just feeling your body fully relaxed and settled into the mat. The bones very heavy. The skin and the muscles of your body soft and relaxed. The belly rising and falling gently with the breath. We allow ourselves to fully rest here for the next few minutes. Nothing else to do. I'll let you know when it's time to come out by ringing a bell. Shanti. Peace. Begin to deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Roll the hands and feet, gently waking the body. On an inhale, find a big stretch, reaching the arms up. Stretch the legs, point the toes. And exhale, roll over to one side. Take a moment to pause. And then press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Being mindful of your posture, your alignment. And take a moment at the top and just notice how you feel after your practice. Any difference from when we first began today? And then bring your hands together at the heart. Tuck your chin and take a moment just to honor yourself for making the time in your day to give to yourself, to take care of your body, your mind, your heart, your soul. This time of self-care is so rejuvenating, and I know that it's hard sometimes to carve out the time, so really honor yourself for doing so. I wish you a beautiful rest of your day and week. Thank you so much for sharing your practice. Namaste.